The once goal-driven, ambitious Sapphire turns to the street life after the sudden death of her big brother Dre. Dre's best friend Devontae tries to honor his homeboy's last request of looking out for his baby sister. A rebellious Sapphire makes it very difficult for Devontae to carry out his promise.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, there's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is the canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. Keith West, my brother Voodoo Child, my brother Big Dog Philly OG, my brother Marco Power. Thank you for joining me this evening. This evening, I want to go over something that's very prevalent in our communities. They earn the hate at our expense. Cops trained to violate our rights and abuse us. Now, I woke up this morning, my channel stays on the local news channel. That's the focal point. It's like what's going on in my community. But I turn to CNN and everything, and I try to stay current with what's going on in my community. And this morning, I discovered by watching the news that the New Jersey State Comptroller said that there was a private training. As per an investigation by the Office of the State Comptroller, there was a found that hundreds of law enforcement officers from across New Jersey attended a private training conference that taught unconstitutional police tactics, glorified violence, denigrated women and so-called minorities, and likely violated a myriad of state laws and policies. A 6-day training conference in October of 2021, hosted by New Jersey-based Street Cop Training and Independence Training Police Consultancy, drew more than 240 police officers from New Jersey alone, and a majority of these officers were paid with public funds while attending the sessions. Says a report Tuesday by the Comptroller's Office. Private sessions, likely like those provided by Street Cop Training, are not under the authority of the State Attorney General's Police Training Commission or any other police entity, and are not regulated. Peace to my brother, Marco Power. Respect to Sharon Walker. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for joining me this evening. After reviewing hours of video footage and internal documents, as well as conducting witness interviews, the comptroller office found that a lack of oversight allowed for deficiencies in the training, and they want to know who attended the training, how much was spent. Records from street cop training show that the 240 New Jersey officers who attended came from 77 municipal police departments, 6 county agencies, 1 interstate agencies, and 4 state agencies, including the New Jersey State Police, officials said. The comptroller's office independently confirmed that the 3 county agencies, 48 municipal police departments, 1 interstate agency, and 2 agencies, included the New Jersey State Police, spent public funds on the conference. It is unclear exactly how much taxpayers' money was spent in relation to the training program. The report says it's more than $75,000, not included paid time or paid training days, but the street cop records were incomplete and inaccurate. The company's records say it received roughly $320,000 from various New Jersey law enforcement agencies for other training sessions held between 2019 and 2022. But controllers, investigators found that the actual amount was at least double that. The report alleges that more than 100 discriminatory and harassing comments were made, with speakers discussing the size of their genitals, displaying lewd images, and making demeaning quips about women and so-called minorities. Now, they say this training undermined nearly a decade of police reforms. Now, I don't understand where the police reforms came from, because based on what went on or what goes on all across the United States, I don't even see anything that remotely suggests that the police have undergone any reform training across the United States. The report also alleges that instructors, including some active New Jersey police officers, advocated stopping motorists for no reason or illegally prolonging stops, which could violate people's civil rights and be unconstitutional under both federal and New Jersey laws. It said some instructors promoted a warrior approach to policing and dehumanized civilians, referring to them as the pieces of shit of society, or using other offensive memes. We found so many examples of so many instructors promoting views and tactics that were widely inappropriate, offensive, and discriminatory, harassing in some cases, likely illegal, said Kevin Walsh, acting state comptroller. The fact that the training undermined nearly a decade of police reforms and New Jersey dollars paid for it is outrageous. The state has worked for the better part of a decade to embrace initiatives and other reforms focused on curbing biases and excessive force in policing and restoring community trust. The community never trusted the police. I've been here almost 60 years, and I can honestly say with, emphatically, that they haven't had any trust to regain. That means that they must be trying to gain trust, but to regain trust, that's a bunch of foolishness. Now, the training program allegedly features speakers mocking the idea of reimagining policing and belittling attorney affairs. Now, they're belittling internal affairs, the ones who police the police, the one who investigate them. They investigate police misconduct, internal affairs. The report says one speaker spoke about loving violence and praised savagery, drinking out of the skulls of our enemies. See, we must be their enemies. The citizens, in particular, our people, they want to drink out of our skulls. Now, another used an offensive meme of a monkey after describing a motor vehicle stop of a 75-year-old brother coming out of Trenton. It also alleges that Street Cop Training founder CEO Dennis Benigno, a former New Jersey police officer, talked about wanting to die in Colombia surrounded by cocaine and girls who are not as wealthy and needed to do things to make money. What is painful evident is that it often takes more than laws and policies to change behavior and attitude, Walsh said. New Jersey needs quality police training, and to have the quality training, we need regulation over private company operating in this sphere. Benigno said in a comment that Street Cop has been subjected to a lengthy investigation regarding the 2021 conference, and that officers who attended Street Cop programs routinely praised it as one of the best trainings they have ever received, providing them with the skills and insight that are simply not taught in the academy setting prior to graduation. Now, of course, one would say that it's the best training that they've ever received if it's teaching them to do something that they joined the force to do in the first place. Many police officers join the force not to help people, not to keep our community safe, which is the template cliche statement that one would say why they joined the police force. A lot of them, most of them join the police force because they want to exercise power over people. They want people to listen to them and comply with them with everything they say. That's why most of them want to join the police force. Now, I have video footage of police officers all over the United States earning the hate that they receive. They definitely earn the hate that they receive from the people all over the United States. Now let me find my videos that I have lined up and let us get to them. I want to share my screen. So we all could see how they earn the hate. I know the brothers and sisters on in the chat already know. I don't want to preach to those who know. I'm not going to say choir because there's no choir boys or sisters in this chat. We have aware people in this chat. And we're going to see how they earn the hate, because they certainly earn the hate. Here in the wilderness of North America, they most certainly earn the hate that they receive. And I think
a man who could have been sent to prison for years based on claims in a police report was saved by a home surveillance camera. The footage showed he did not attack an officer as claimed in the report. ITV investigator Adam Walser spoke to the Lake Wales man and hears from local leaders who say it's not the first time they've heard complaints about heavy-handed policing in their small town.
I stopped at a stop sign right here on 3rd Street, and I noticed the officer behind me way before I even stopped.
Chris Cordero was driving to Publix February 8th to pick up medicine for his young son when Lake Wales police officer Colt Black pulled him over. Unbeknownst to the officer, a camera across the street captured it all.
I get out the vehicle to ask him what's going on because, you know, he's been following me for a while.
Cordero stands by his car for more than 20 seconds, but Officer Black's report says Cordero immediately exited the driver door and began to charge towards my patrol vehicle.
It says right here in this report, this officer filed in the court, that you came at him with clenched fists.
That's absolutely not true.
Officer Black approaches Cordero 30 seconds later.
He sucker punched me from the back right here. Cracked a piece of my tooth out. I landed on the ground.
Moments later, Officer Travis Worley arrives. It's hard to see exactly what happens next, but you can make out a struggle behind the car.
They both jumped on me and beat me up really bad.
In the report, Officer Black says he delivered an elbow strike to the left side of Cordero's head because he thought he was reaching for a weapon. In the complaint Cordero filed, he said Worley used a racist slur.
I've never heard that terminology in my life.
Cordero was charged with resisting arrest, assault on a law enforcement officer, and making a death threat to a law enforcement officer. When he bonded out of jail the next day, he went door to door in the neighborhood until he found the footage.
They didn't.
Cordero shared the footage with police. Officer Black wrote in another report, I believe my perception was
They didn't think that he had footage. And oftentimes they can see a camera pointing at them and they would still do whatever they intend to do. They thumb their nose at the cameras and do whatever they're going to do. I think some of these officers want to leave their jobs. They want to quit. They just won't quit and just leave the force. They want to at least do something outrageous against one of us before they leave. They would go to prison. They would lose their job and their livelihood as long as they got to do whatever they have in their mind to do to us.
Was altered due to the high stress of the incident.
When I told Mr. Cordero that I believed him, he broke down in tears.
Attorney Sarah Jones provided the video to the state's attorney's office, which immediately dropped the charges. Jones says she's heard multiple complaints from clients about Lake Wales police officers using heavy-handed tactics.
These officers who have issues with power and control target people who they know won't be believed.
Do you feel like that the leadership at that police department realize that there are potentially some bad apples?
They know.
The entire force all across the United States are bad apples. I don't have a problem with laws. I think everybody should enforce the law. Citizens. If somebody's breaking into you, if you see somebody doing something to a child or doing something that's against divine law, all of us should, act on that. Not hire somebody who wants to be chest out and violate. What the hell is wrong with this damn video?
How can they not? When I stood at the city commission, I'll show you. Come talk to me. I'll let you know who they are and what they're doing, and I'll help you build the cases against them.
We requested an interview with the police chief, but he declined, citing an ongoing internal investigation. In an emailed
See, the police investigate themselves, and off time, most of the times, they find no wrongdoing after investigating themselves.
statement, the department confirmed that Colt Black resigned effective February 10th, and that Travis Worley had been placed on administrative station duty. The I team has uncovered both officers have been previously investigated. 2 complaints against Black were investigated and closed without any action taken because the investigator found he did not violate policy. Black was disciplined in 2018 for an unauthorized vehicle pursuit. Worley, named Officer of the Year in 2019 and past president of the Lake Wales Police Officers Association, has been the subject of 4 citizen complaints and 2 internal investigations, including 2 allegations he used racial slurs. The president of
There's nothing worse than a white, career-driven cop. They'll do anything to rise up that rank and file, including violate people's rights and set them up and criminalize somebody.
of the Police Benevolent Association said Worley was cleared in both instances. In this complaint, the Lake Wales High School principal emailed the police chief about Worley, alleging he used a racial slur in front of students, saying, quite simply, he is not the same caliber as the other officers I know are, not even close. The complaint was investigated by the deputy chief, but no wrongdoing was substantiated. Worley was also the subject of an internal investigation slur while on a call. The report says investigators were unable to prove if a racial slur was used by Officer Worley, but investigators found evidence Worley used multiple profane words while
In one case, they would believe everything a police officer say. Yet when a sister police officer say something, or a brother police officer say something, it's dismissed as a lie or as unbelievable. Yet if a police officer do something, violate someone's rights, and a citizen go and make a file a complaint, it's sometimes years before anybody investigated.
in a heated argument. He was suspended for 8 hours without pay in 2020.
He's-
Worley defended himself, writing, more than ample opportunities were given for someone to provide evidence of me being racist with negative results. City Commissioner Terry Howell says she was troubled by what happened at Cordero and by recent complaints from others.
All police are not trying to intimidate people. That's not the case.
I'm telling you, we are going to have to value ourselves, our people, and our lives. If you have an encounter with the police and you're able, if you're able to defend yourself, because thinking that they're not going to do it is naive. It's very naive. Justice is a reward or penalty. Justice is a reward or penalty. We cannot go to their brothers expecting them to give us justice against their own brother. We're going to have to serve justice ourselves when those people violate us, period. I don't care what their job is. I don't care what they're doing. If they violate one of us, they violate our rights, they do harm to us, it must be met with dire consequences.
Case. But when you have 1 or 2 bad apples, and then they're spilling that bad apple part to other officers, then that butt start growing.
Powell made a proposal for police body cameras more than a year ago, but
The police would do whatever they do. They'll point the camera. See, the body cameras are, in their sentiment, the show to show their constituents what they've done. They think that the body cameras is a deterrent. The body cameras are not a deterrent. Perhaps not even sometimes when we point our cameras at them, it's not a deterrent. They'll still pull it. They'll still do it.
but it failed to gain traction. But just days after Cordero's arrest, a body cam program was on the commission.
I've heard it. I do believe that the cams are needed.
I've got police that's supposed to protect and serve. They are actually the ones that are doing the harm.
People have been scared to speak about.
Putting lives before money, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
Now we're going to go to another liar.
Tonight, a South Florida corrections officer finding himself on the wrong side of the law.
He's now facing charges accused of attack.
They'll do something so cowardice, like handcuff someone and then violently attack them.
Inmate, the apparent abuse caught on Amy. Well, that incident was all captured on surveillance video, as you say, during the booking process here at the Homestead Police Department. It captures a corrections officer shoving a handcuffed inmate headfirst into a concrete wall. The troubling video shows Homestead Corrections Officer Lester Brown escorting a handcuffed inmate into the booking area. Watch as Brown shoves the inmate from behind, sending him tumbling face first into a concrete wall, causing him to bleed from the head, requiring a trip to the hospital.
Today, we are charging Homestead Police Officer Lester Brown with felony battery, which is a third-degree felony, and official misconduct, which is also a third-degree felony.
It happened in December. The inmate, Jose Garcia Alvarado, was arrested for disorderly intoxication and resisting arrest without violence. Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine.
Now, this man, intoxicated, had too much to drink, and he had to be subjected to this because he had too much to drink, when all they had to do is just let him dry out and then let him go. Charge him whatever you're going to charge him with. If this devil, this damn coward punk pulls something like this.
Catherine Fernandez Rundle says Officer Brown lied on his written report about the incident, claiming Alvarado was combative and tried to attack officers. She said video contradicts those claims, showing Alvarado calmly walking in without a struggle. Brown also claimed the inmate fell forward into the wall. No one answered the door at Brown's house in Homestead Wednesday night. It was very.
The crazy part is these numbskulls know that there's no lie. He fell. He was combative. He was fighting officers. Pointed right at them, they'll still lie.
Very surprising to hear, and very unfortunate.
People who live nearby describe Brown as a great neighbor who's helpful and kind. They were surprised of the allegations and see the video.
Yeah, it is tough to see that, from one.
Your neighbor can have somebody chained to some pipes in a damn basement, especially if he's one of them Caucasian people.
Now charged with his officers act. And Brown's bond was set at $10,000, which he did post earlier today. The chief of police says he is now relieved of duty without pay. We will continue to follow this story. We're live in Homestead tonight. Amy Viteri, Local 10 News.
I'm going to go to the Fort Pierce police officer who hit a child.
According to a report from Port St. Lucie Police, the child was riding
And he
his
lied
bicycle
about
right here
it.
at the intersection of Savona Boulevard and Becker Road when that Fort Pierce police officer, who we're told was traveling right here in the right turn lane, hit him in his patrol car at an intersection just yards from Debbie Johnson's home.
It's a good neighborhood. We've had no issues or anything.
Again, what's crazy about how they lied about it.
Became an issue she'd never thought she'd hear.
Very scary.
Police officer in his patrol car, according to this report from Port St. Lucie Police.
I was very shocked because we didn't have anything like that to happen out here.
According to the report, the child's mother called Port St. Lucie Police, telling them her son was crossing the road, bumper clipped him, knocking him over. She told police the officer in the car did check on her son, offering him a Band-Aid, but then drove away without contacting her, filing a report, or leaving her son with his information. Based on the child's description of the officer's patrol car and uniform, Port St. Lucie Police say they figure a nearby home shows the patrol car of Officer Eric Arellano heading towards the crash site just moments before the accident. Port St. Lucie officers also say when they confronted Arellano about the incident, he denied the whole thing twice until officers showed him the evidence against him, prompting a confession. I reached out to Fort Pierce Police, who declined an on-camera interview, but told me Officer Arellano is on administrative leave, pending an internal investigation.
He should have been not paying him pending an investigation. For lying about it, he should have been fired on the spot.
They also sent me this statement, reading in part, quote, "We take situations like this quite serious, and our investigating of this incident will be extremely thorough."
I think that was great that they're right on top of things.
Neighbors like Debbie thankful it's being taken seriously and thankful the child is okay.
Absolutely. Thank God.
Now, I have reached out to Officer Arellano both by email and called me back. Reporting in Port St. Lucie, I'm Kate Hussey, WPTV News Channel 5.
Developing.
Today, for the first time, we are seeing body camera video from the drive-by tasing that led to 2 Willis police officers being sentenced to a year in jail. A jury.
Now, police officers did a drive-by tasing. They're doing drive-bys. I'm certain that service weapon. I'm certain that they shoot people and then call it gang violence using unmarked vehicles and gang violence. I'm certain that they do that, but this is the case of a drive-by tasing in Willis police officers that was sentenced to a year after lying about it. They use excessive force. Of course, it's excessive from your vehicle.
Jury in Montgomery County just convicted them both for tampering with a governmental record.
Yeah, the officers lied after using a stun gun on a man, then charging him for a crime he didn't even commit. Here's Adam Bennett with more.
July 29th, 2017.
Drive-by tasing? You know how to take me? Yeah, I'm not him up. He's off now.
Street after a family disturbance. Prosecutors say the man outside was not directly involved, but did have 3 Class C misdemeanor warrants. But because those officers never told the man to stop or that he was under arrest, the entire incident, DA Brett Liggins says officers Kenneth Elmore and
They never told him that he was detained. They never told him he was under arrest. So why would he stop?
on the arrest report, the incident report, and the use of force report. All documents the DA's office relied on to charge the man they tased with evading. That changed in December 2017 when a prosecutor, Texas Rangers, launched an investigation. A grand jury indicted Elmore and McCaffrey 6 months later.
Now tell me, do these two guys look like they would be wearing white sheets at night? Put a 1 in the chat. Look like they are members of the Ku Klux Klan members.
Later. Today, the DA released a statement saying the two officers, quote, disregarded their oaths to protect, to serve, their lies, and that by convicting the two men, quote, protected the community by preventing them from being police officers.
Now we're going to go to the New Jersey training that I was referring to at the beginning of the video that our tax dollars paid for.
Tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars paid for problematic police training in New Jersey. That's according to a new report from the state controller's office. It says a training for officers from around the country included unconstitutional police practices, glorified violence, and encouraged insubordination. CBS 2's Ali Bauman has the details.
Glorifying violence.
I love fighting. I love shooting.
Disparaging women and minorities.
I watch this sport more.
Now this is a private company, not sanctioned by any police agency.
The female driver. She doesn't want back up. Run from me.
And laughing in the face of state law.
Somewhere along the chase becomes.
This is just some of what the New Jersey State Comptroller found from one private police training conference in 2021 that nearly 1,000 officers attended, including 240 from New Jersey. One course that cost New Jersey taxpayers at least $75,000.
Instructors taught unconstitutional policing practices. Taxpayers paid for a training that normalized discriminatory and harassing behavior by public servants.
The private company behind this is called Street Cop Training, which the comptroller says has received at least $320,000 from various New Jersey agencies since 2019. It's led by a former Middlesex County officer.
Right? Get pepper spray, tase.
Any kind of private police training in New Jersey, does it have to be like accredited? Does it have to have like certificates of any kind? Well, it seems not. New Jersey
Probably was fired, and then he probably had money to get himself a bond, and he started this company to go around training people to do things that he probably was fired for.
Gianne LaCicero says
this whole space of lack of regulation, and so we've seen it really run amok here.
Here's one Robbinsville, New Jersey officer describing a traffic stop of a black man with a photo of a monkey on stage. He's now the subject of an internal affairs investigation.
That's not an 18-year-old kid who drive behavior.
The latest data shows there are 72 police departments in New Jersey staffed by all white officers, and 108 police departments across the state staffed by all male officers.
New Jersey has a long history of racialized policing, so we know that communities of color are going to bear the brunt of some of the practices that were espoused at this training.
In a statement, the founder of Street Cop said in part, there is not one single instance in the comptroller's report where we have advocated any practice that is inconsistent with quality policing. The New Jersey Attorney General has since referred the report to the Division on Civil Rights and told state police to no
Everyone who attended this should be off the job. This company should be not allowed to come into any municipality, any state, and so-called give this training. Every cop who attended should be fired. They should be fired for attending this. And not only that, the money that was paid out, it's taxpayers' money. That's one of the main reasons why they all should be fired for going and attending something that's going to teach them to do things outside of the training of the academy, because that's what they were doing, undermining the law and undermining the training that cops receive in the academy, which the academy training is bullshit also.
No longer attend. In New Jersey, Ali Bauman, CBS 2 News.
We did reach out to the other departments who had.
Now we're gonna go to the acting state controller and give his
In October 2021, about 1,000 police officers attended a private police training conference in Atlantic City. About 240 of the officers were from New Jersey. We investigated this 6-day conference hosted by a private company called Street Cop Training.
They need to post, they need to make us aware what departments is represented who attended this so-called training. We need to know what departments, what police officers, and what departments they were from that attended this training.
The training was held after New Jersey, as well as other states, had adopted safety initiatives and reforms to reduce bias and excessive force in policing. What we found was really disturbing. Instructors taught unconstitutional policing practices, teaching officers to stop motorists without a lawful basis and to illegally prolong traffic stops. They denigrated women and racial and ethnic minorities. They promoted a warrior mentality and glorified violence. They belittled internal affairs. They dehumanized civilians. They made jokes about their genitalia and harassed members of the audience. And this training was paid for with public funds. Taxpayers paid for a training that normalized discriminatory and harassing behavior by public servants who were supposed to be held to very high standards. These kinds of attitudes.
I've never held police in high standards. I don't see them as public servants. That's a cliche. That's what they tell us the police are supposed to be. Yet I haven't seen an example, not enough of an example to refer to the police as public servants. They are public tyrants.
And behaviors inevitably lead to violations of constitutional rights, to discrimination, and to lawsuits. And you, the taxpayers of New Jersey, pick up the tab. How did this happen? It happened because private post-academy police training in New Jersey is a free-for-all. There is virtually no oversight or regulation. As a result, companies...
Instead of Phil Murphy spending money on frivolous foolishness, he should spend money for an oversight to make sure that if police are going to receive additional training, it should be given by a state of New Jersey or whatever state it is, sanctioned office or training facility, not some private company who are not cops.
Companies like Street Cop can rent a room, charge off.
Not suggesting that that training would be any better, but an oversight would be better than not having an oversight.
Officers or the departments to attend and teach whatever they want. That has to change. This impacts all of us. Read our report.
New Jersey State Comptroller says hundreds of police officers went to a training conference that
We don't need to hear that again, but we're gonna go to
And we've got more breaking news in New Jersey. A police chief arrested for sexually assaulting women and using his rank to coerce members of the department into sex. And perhaps even more shocking, he isn't the only former chief facing charges tonight. Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza is live in Manville with details on the allegations and disturbing allegations. Mike.
Manville, New Jersey is in Somerset County. It's a good 6-7 miles from where I'm at. We call it Clanville because if you're one of us and you drive through there, chances are you're going to be stopped and harassed, probably arrested just for driving through there. Manville is a sundown town in New Jersey.
Sade, that's right. In fact, the Howell Township police chief, the newly retired Howell Township police chief, also facing accusations of misconduct. Howell Township and Manville separated by about 56 miles, but tonight they are connected with these allegations of a lot of misconduct. In a bombshell announcement, the Attorney General detailed 2 separate disturbing cases involving 2 police chiefs.
If the allegations we are detailing today are proven, unfortunately, we see what the abuse of...
If they are proven, why would you consider them allegations?
Power and the abuse of public trust really looks like, and how far it can go.
Howell Township Police Chief Andrew Kudrick retired as the investigation closed in. The 49-year-old is accused of lying in the investigation and threatening a high-ranking police department member in an effort to conceal an affair with a subordinate.
Howell Township Police Chief Andrew Kudrick allegedly threatened to open an illegitimate internal affairs investigation into a police captain to intimidate him, his own colleague, from being truthful in interviews in an investigation by the township.
In Manville, current police chief, 55-year-old Thomas Herbst, is accused of sexually assaulting several women, groping and exposing himself to an employee who reported to him between 2008 and 2021, and using his rank to coerce staff members into sexual acts at work and in the victims' homes.
Our investigation has also uncovered evidence that Herbst would solicit sexual favors from the wives of subordinate officers in order for those officers to receive favorable employment decisions and opportunities.
Herbst worked for the Manville Police Department since 1991. He's facing a list of charges, including 2 counts of sexual assault.
He looked like a damn pervert who needs more than a talking to. He needs way more than a talking to.
It is now placed on paid administrative leave.
The defendant allegedly ordered the victim at one point to wear skirts to facilitate and escalate his assaults.
Herbst could face fines and prison time if convicted. He could also be forced to give up his pension and be banned from serving in public office for his...
He shouldn't receive a pension. The state of New Jersey, the taxpayers should not be paying this damn sexual deviant for the rest of his life. No, we should not be paying him for that. He should lose his pension and he should get 2 hots in a damn cot. Don't even give him 3 hots. Give him 2 hots in a cot.
His life.
The police don't even get along with each other. We're going to go to a police brawl where they're fighting each other.
Investigation underway into a confrontation with Jersey City police officers as they look to break up a big fight. Police say 6 officers responded to a 911 call about a brawl involving up to 100 people. This was on Bostwick Avenue last night. When officers attempted to disperse the crowd, police said a juvenile tried to take an officer's weapon. Police chased him.
Now the police were involved in this brawl themselves. They were involved in this brawl themselves, staying consistent with what's going on in one of the most corrupt states in the United States.
And were followed by several people. During a struggle, 2 officers fell to the ground and pepper spray was deployed. And then a struggle broke out between an officer and 2 people over an officer's baton. In the end, police arrested 5 people, and now the department is looking into if some of the officers used excessive force to deal with the situation.
This one officer that's constantly swinging, that's all he's doing is swinging. He's enjoying himself. That's what he's here for. That's what he wants to do. He's not interested in law enforcement. He's not interested in community policing. They want you to see them as heroes and the good guys, but they don't display any of that.
Our police officers acted with great restraint and used exactly the force necessary.
What restraint that anybody see in this video? What restraint was used? See, the police, the attorney for the police would stand here and see what the truth is and would stand here and lie. We should not trust any of them. They are not to be trusted. I don't trust any of them to tell me the truth. I don't trust any of them to do the right thing. None of them.
To bring this situation to a close where nobody was hurt, even people that were fighting with the police.
2 police officers were treated for minor injuries, and anyone with information on the incident or even possibly video asked to contact the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office.
Now, this next video is one of the focal points of how they earn the hate. If you know the police are going to do something to you that's going to violate your rights, that's going to be humiliating, that's going to possibly take your life. You have one life. Fight for your life. Value your life more than you value their life, especially when they're not acting in the capacity of the law. Seeing a badge and gun doesn't make the person who's wearing it right. Some of us have incredible restraint when it comes to them, but we'll jump on each other in a heartbeat. But we exercise restraint on people who are coming to do us harm, who have done us harm. Now we're going to go to Alabama, where a racist, little, small, ugly woman wearing a badge and a gun. Now, if this brother would have turned around and knocked her out and stumped her until she turned to wine, he would have been seen as the bad guy. If he would have merely defended himself by knocking her out cold, which she was clearly in the wrong, he would have been seen as the bad guy, and would have had charges up the ass. Every charge they could have put on him, they would have put on him. But watch this video from Alabama. She's beyond despicable, and she, in my opinion, should be hanged from the highest damn tree.
They held a protest Monday night in response to the viral video showing a police officer using a stun gun on a handcuffed man. We want to warn you, you might find this video disturbing. After an exchange of words.
Isn't this ironic? The police department is called, the municipality is called Reform Alabama. Reform. Something that they all need down there. Reformation. That's the mockery in all actuality.
Words, the police officer pulls the trigger on the stun gun and then asks,
"You want it again? No, shut the f up. You was big and bad."
She could then be heard calling him an explicit name.
She tased him in the back, and she was holding it. She was just holding it there until he started crying.
Jalexis Rice's girlfriend.
She did all of this to humiliate a much larger man who's a brother. She told him, shut the fuck up. Shut your bitch ass up. That's what she said to him. But if he would have hooked off on her, she would have pulled her gun out. But she did all of this after she got the man cuffed. I've never been tased, but the crying part, that bothered me the most, because this big, oversized man put in this vulnerable position, humiliated throughout the whole nation. Everybody see this video. Everybody's talking about this video. She did that to humiliate him. Now, this is what I say. They don't just quit. They'll do something outrageous before they leave, or before they resign, or before they're fired. Most of them resign and keep their certification and go to another department. I don't know if this is going to be the case with this, but this is what they do.
Of Micaiah Washington says this all started when her boyfriend and two others were changing a tire of the car they were driving. She says that's when the officer in the video pulled up, eventually putting her boyfriend in handcuffs and tasing him.
When I seen, I couldn't do nothing but cry. I couldn't do nothing but cry.
Following his arrest, Washington was booked into the Pickens County jail.
If anyone had a firearm, this would have been a time to let her have everything in it, because she was not acting in conformity with the law. And everybody should exercise a law or a right that no one can give you or take away from you. That's the right to defend yourself against whoever is violating you violently.
Jail on several charges. Reform's police chief and mayor said they're aware of the video and the police officer has been placed on administrative leave. However,
after that, all those charges were dropped. After the video surfaced, all the charges were dropped because the video was inconsistent with all the charges that was put on him.
People attending Monday's rally say they want more done.
She needs to be fired, and I feel like she can leave.
She needs to be fired, among other things. She needs to be fired and have her gun stripped away from her, and then put him, not a female, put him, because he's her victim. Put him in a cell with her and see if she can do the same shit to him without all that shit on her duty belt. Now, I don't advocate hitting women, but when women do shit like that, racist ass white women do shit like that, they need the cowboy shit beat out them.
Leave and go somewhere else and do it if they don't hold her accountable for nothing. You're a police. You're here to protect and serve us. How do we supposed to trust you and this how you treat us?
It hurt.
This woman must be 2 years old. If she can say that the police are here to protect and serve us, she's sounding like she's 2 years old and haven't lived enough to see that's not what they do. That's something that somebody who just came in this world would think because they watch TV. Anybody who's an adult, a full-grown adult who's been around, know damn well that the police are not here to serve and protect us, because they haven't done that, at least in my lifetime, which is almost 60 years. I wish our people would stop saying that bullshit.
It hurt my feelings for real.
In the statement from the mayor and police chief, they said in part the department is in the process of turning over all materials related to this arrest to the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation and has requested a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the arrest.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app.
We're going to go to the community sentiments about this.
Well, a reformed police officer is on administrative leave for their behavior during an arrest over the weekend. Thanks for staying up with us here at 10. I'm Jarvis Robertson. This after a viral video shows what appears to be the police officer using a stun gun on a man during an arrest. Now, we want to warn you, you might find this story disturbing. WVTM 13's Emma Owen was in Reform Tonight with the message.
Ones and community members say they're here in Reform Tonight pushing for accountability. They held a protest Monday night in response to the viral video showing a police officer using a stun gun on a handcuffed man.
I don't expect accountability. I expect punishment. I know that's far-fetched, but she should be punished. She should know how it feels to have a stun gun put to her back and tased several times. Tased until she foamed in the damn mouth.
And we want to warn you, you might find this video disturbing. After an exchange of words, the police officer pulls the trigger on the stun gun and then asks,
You want it again? No, shut the f up. You was big and bad.
She could then be heard calling him an explicit name.
She tased him in the back, and she was holding it. She was just holding it there until he started crying.
Jalexis Rice, girlfriend of Micaiah Washington, says this all started when her boyfriend and two others were changing a tire of the car they were driving. She says that's when the officer in the video pulled up, eventually putting her boyfriend in handcuffs and tasing him.
When I seen it, I couldn't do nothing but cry. I couldn't do nothing but cry.
Following his arrest, Washington was booked into the Pickens County Jail on several charges. He has a bond of $500,000. In a statement, Reform's police chief and mayor said they're aware of the video and the police officer has been placed on administrative leave. However, people attending Monday's rally say they want more done.
She needs to be fired, and I feel like she can leave and go somewhere else and do it if they don't hold her accountable for nothing. You are police. You here to protect and serve us. How do we
Gonna move on from that. I can't stand when our people talk like that.
I came home and I came back this way, but I didn't know he was leaving the scene because he was right, you know, you can see where the debris is.
Okay, so you thought he was turning around and coming back this way?
Yeah.
So you think he was headed that way when you hit him?
Nobody got to come outside. I've been sleeping. Look, I've been sleeping. People been driving around, parking in front of my house, like driving. I can't even get no sleep. And they going outside running around. I'm on Linwood. They coming around, driving around, circling around. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay.
And then nobody's outside. Nobody's starting to come outside.
Relax.
What the fuck, man?
I don't know what's going on.
No, man, fuck that. Fuck that.
What? I don't. You get.
No, fuck that.
This is
You
an
fucked up
accident.
my fucking car, man.
Now, this is clearly a mental ill person that this cop is dealing with. I'm going to watch the video and watch how this man who is mentally ill is handled, when they should have just gotten on the phone or gotten on the radio and give a code for mental illness. The police are not compassionate enough to even deal with citizens, not alone someone who's mentally ill. And the event is going to change drastically when backup comes, because some of our people would do us worse than Caucasian people who are on the force. Some of our people will think that they have risen above our condition and will treat us worse. Now, this officer here now is a template of de-escalation, compassion, and restraint. The female officer, she's to be commended for her patience and her de-escalation. She didn't want to shoot him. She didn't shoot him, but watch how it ends.
Fuck.
Calm down a little bit.
No, I'm not
okay?
calming down.
Step back.
No, I'm not stepping back.
Step
No,
back.
I'm not stepping back. I'm not stepping back. This is my fucking car.
It's an accident.
No, it's my fucking car. You act like you're not fucking okay.
Calm down a little bit.
I don't know which. I was.
Anyone, can you step it up a minute?
I don't know. He was going that way. Where? Were you going that direction?
Got 41. Get on the ground. On the ground now. Flip over on your back. 10-3.
I ain't doing shit, bitch. Yo,
Flip over on your back now.
I want to do.
Get back. No.
Kill me. The fuck?
I need a 10-3.
Fucking car. I don't give
No.
a fuck. Kill me.
On the ground.
Fucking kill me. The fuck?
Now. The ground now.
I'm not on shit.
Now, this cop is never seen this. Most cops, when he walked up on her, especially saying, "Give me your gun, I'll take it," most cops would have shot him. But she did not shoot. She refused to shoot him. He said, "Kill me." She said, "No, I'm not going to do that."
Fuck all that.
On the ground.
Gun or kill me.
On the ground.
Give me the fuck. Kill me. I'm ready to go.
I don't want to. Kill you.
Tell me this guy is not mentally ill. He's mentally ill. And that's how he should be handled.
Get on the ground. No.
Kill me then.
No.
Kill me.
Get on the ground.
Now, the Negro cop is not going to say passion. He's just showing up. Not knowing what's going on. This is what he do.
Fuck all this.
Get on the ground.
Hell no. Turn over. Turn over. Turn over.
I know some would say it's better than killing him. It's better than shooting him. But this cop who responded, don't know what's going on, but automatic man have the endurance level to sustain a tasing. It could have killed him.
Turn over. Come on, man. Turn over. Hands on your back. Why was this fucking girl with me?
No, she was a witness. He tried to steal her purse.
Are you serious?
No, he was arguing with me here, trying to steal her purse and take off that way, and he fell, and that's when I pulled the gun on him.
Yeah, he's
Good.
I called the accident.
I don't even know if this is a 45 because of the way he was acting.
Was he in the car?
Yes.
Yeah, he had an accident. Another car. I don't know what happened to it.
He didn't want me to shoot him.
And I don't know what happened. And I came to tell them that I did.
Get the fuck out of here.
No.
No. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
Blow my fucking head off here. Want me to hit you again with the gun? Want me to hit you again with it?
Listen to this nigga. Listen to this nigga. Want me to hit you again with it? The man is in custody and cuffed. Now, this is what you call antagonistic. He's antagonizing the man. And this is not mature as a ranked officer. It's not mature. He should have just told the man to calm down. That's it. But instead, he acts like an immature ass nigga.
You want another shot?
95, we're going to need a sergeant for you.
Peace to Joe King. Salute, family.
Do you mind staying here as being a witness, please?
Okay. Can I
Can you get your purse back?
Yeah.
All right.
It was fine.
Bring your legs into your chest. Get the fuck up, bro. Get the fuck off me, bitch. What? Yep, here. Yep, give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
They earn the hate at our expense. This is what we pay for. Now, this is cliche. This is allegedly, because I haven't seen the police do that in all my life. Overall, you may have some acts of heroism here and there, but overall, the police are tyrannical and they break the laws more than people who they arrest. Of the stream. Peace to my brother P. Moses, my brother Cuban Crisis, my brother Big Dog Philly OG. Thanks for joining me this evening. Who else we got in here? Rest of this, and this will conclude the stream. Yeah, but they do earn the hate at our expense. We pay for these bastards to do a job. They want to be seen as heroes. They want people in total compliance to what they ask of them, even if it's unlawful. They know that they are violating your rights and they don't even care. They expect you to not know, and they get offended when you do know. And I don't know what the criteria is for hiring of police officers. This may sound racist, but those Caucasian officers are some of the most dirtbag, numbskull idiots that anybody can ever encounter, even their own people. There's nothing worse than a coward, a punk with perceived power. Nothing worse than a punk with perceived power. who can stick his chest out and think somebody's supposed to listen to him and hold on to every word, and then they'll act like they know everything with 6 months of training, and they're put out there to deal with life and death situation, and then they won't even apply themselves. They won't even apply themselves. Okay, I know I don't know all the law, but I am in law enforcement. Let me take some courses or buy some books on the amendments and the statutes of at least my municipality where I work at. Won't even learn about the laws of where they work at, and will go out and do a job blindly. That's just stupid to me. And then you get a field training officer who don't even know the law. And if he's a idiot, if he's an a-hole, he's going to train you to be one. So now you got, when they put you out in your car alone or with a partner, you got two people who were trained by FTOs, and they train you to be tyrants, and you expect people to respect you as this noble person, this hero, this noble person. But when you don't do any acts of heroism, none whatsoever, but you want the respect of a hero. You know, it's the society who are more honorable than law enforcement. A whole lot of people who are out here than law enforcement. Yet that they don't earn. That's what they want. They want respect that they don't earn. They all their money, but don't even give you half of the service that you pay for. The same with these dumb cable companies and it's these internet companies. They want all their money when it's time to pay the bill, but they don't even give you half the services that you pay for. Utterly ridiculous. This is your brother Nasir, and this is the enemy's public. Light. Peace.